Do you have pain right below your kneecap with squats or stairs? Do this 10-second decline squat test with me, and if it lights up right here, I'll show you 3 fixes and one that can ease pain today. I've rehabbed a lot of jumping athletes and most fail test 1 on day 1. Stick around because test number 3 is the one people always overlook and it changes how we load the tendon. Patellar tendinopathy shows up as localized pain at the bottom of the kneecap that gets worse with knee extensor demand, squats, stairs, jumping, especially anything that stores and releases energy in the tendon. You don't need an MRI to start. The diagnosis is primarily clinical because imaging often shows abnormalities even in people without pain. Here's the trap. Resting, icing, and random stretching usually don't fix this long term. The research is clear. Smart loading beats quick fixes. Steroid injections might help short term, but perform worse long term versus heavy, slow resistance training. By the end, you'll run 3 quick tests you can do today, start 3 fixes, including isometrics that can offer short-term pain relief, and use a simple way to track progress so you know it's working. So let's confirm we're dealing with patellar tendinopathy, not generic kneecap pain. Do these 3 at-home tests and write down your numbers. We'll use them to track progress. Test number 1, single leg decline squat. Stand on about a 25-degree declined surface, a wedge, a sloped curb, or plates or books under your heel. On your symptomatic leg, descend for 3 seconds to roughly 60 to 70 degrees of knee bend. Then rise up smooth. Do 3 to 5 reps and rate that tendon pain from 0 to 10 each rep. A positive sign is localized pain right below the kneecap at the inferior pole during loading. That decline angle increases knee extensor demand, so tendon pain is more obvious. Some common mistakes here: going too shallow, bouncing, using both legs, or feeling diffuse pain around the kneecap. That pattern leans patellofemoral, not tendon. Test number 2. Palpation of the inferior pole. Sit with the knee slightly bent. Use 2 fingertip pads to press just below the kneecap on the proximal tendon and compare to nearby areas, the patellar borders and the tibial tubercle lower down. Compare sides and rate tenderness from 0 to 10 at the inferior pole. A positive is focal tenderness right where the tendon meets the kneecap, interpreted alongside your other tests. Avoid pressing the fat pad or patellofemoral margins, and don't press too far down on the tibial tubercle. That's a different condition. Test number 3 is a load test. Choose isometric knee extension or single leg hops. Option A, set the knee around 60 to 70 degrees on a machine, a heavy band, or a leg press, and press hard but pain tolerable for 10 to 30 seconds. Repeat 3 to 5 times and rate tendon pain 0 to 10. Option B, do 3 to 5 single leg hops in place, rating pain 0 to 10. A positive is load dependent localized tendon pain, not diffuse behind or around the kneecap. Don't test this one right after a fatiguing workout and keep the movement controlled. If test 1 provokes pain at the inferior pole, test 2 finds focal tenderness there, and test 3 reproduces load-dependent pain, you're showing the classic patellar tendinopathy pattern. If your pain is around or behind the kneecap on these, your plan is going to be different. Write down your 0 to 10 scores for a baseline. To start correcting this, first we calm pain without detraining the tendon. Do this isometric protocol and a quick load audit. Isometric knee extension holds. Sit at about 60 to 70 degrees of knee bend and press hard into fixed resistance. Hold 45 seconds, rest 2 minutes, and repeat 5 times. Aim for about 70% effort with pain no higher than 3 out of 10. Many people with patellar tendinopathy get meaningful short-term pain relief for roughly 45 minutes after this. During this phase, you need to dial down energy storage loads. That means max jumping and repeated cutting or decelerations, while keeping easy cycling or walking and any pain tolerable strength work. We'll re-add those plyos later on. Now we rebuild capacity with heavy, slow resistance. It's at least as effective as classic eccentric, and it outperforms corticosteroid injections over time. Here's the program for 8 to 12 weeks. Pick 2 to 3 main lifts: back or front squat, leg press, and knee extension. Use a 3-0-3 tempo. That means 3 seconds down, no pause, 3 seconds up. Do 3 to 4 sets of 6 to 15 reps, progressing weekly, 15s, 12s, 10s, 8s. Train 3 days per week on non-consecutive days. The rule is pain at or below 3 out of 10 during the session and not worse the next morning. The 24-hour check governs how we progress this. Now we're adding in kinetic chains. 2 to 3 times per week, hit the hip extensors and adductors and the calf, especially the soleus. If your ankle dorsiflexion is limited, add mobilizations and soleus bias calf raises to shift load away from the knee. The last phase is spring training. Reteach the tendon to store and release energy. Start low, space your sessions, and progress contacts before intensity. Here's the progression ladder. 2 to 3 sessions per week, pogos, double then single leg, line hops, front to back and side to side at sub max, controlled counter movement jumps. These are depth drops and landings to absorb force, then approach jumps and sport specific drills at game speed. Keep at least 48 to 72 hours between high energy storage days at first and use your 24-hour symptom response to decide when to progress or regress. Here's a simple 7-day plan that blends pain relief, strength, and energy storage so your tendon gets better and stays better. Again, we're using that 24-hour rule to guide how we progress. Pain during our workouts is 3 out of 10 or less. It settles quickly after, and it's not worse the next day. Monday is HSRA, a back or front squat 4x10 at 303 tempo, knee extension 3x12 at 303 tempo, soleus bias calf raises 3x15, and either an RDL or hip abduction 3x10 to 12. If you're sore afterwards, you can do 2 by 45 second isometric knee extension holds as a top up. Tuesday, we're doing easy cardio and mobility. 20 to 30 minutes, easy bike or walk, ankle dorsiflexion mobilizations, and light soft tissue work. Wednesday is Plyo A. Pogos, double to single, 3 sets of 20 contacts, line hops front to back and side to side, 3 sets of 15 per side. Then low height landings, 3 sets of 8, stick the landing. Thursday is HSRB. Leg press 4x10 at 303 tempo, knee extension 3x10 to 12 at a 303 tempo, soleus bias calf raises 3x15, and either split squats or hip thrusts 3x8 to 10. Friday is recovery and technique, 20 to 30 minutes easier cardio, followed by decline squat technique reps, body weight 2x10 and totally pain-free, and 1 to 2 45-second isometric holds if you plan to be active later. Saturday is Plyo B, controlled counter movement jumps 4x6, depth drops or absorptions 3x6 from a low box, and approach jumps or sport drills 3x5 at sub max. Sunday can be off or a light bike. Now, how do we progress this without guessing? On HSR, if the next morning symptoms are the same or better, you can bump your load by 2.5 to 5% in your next session, or drop reps. For example, 10 to 8 to go heavier. If it's worse the next morning or pain was over 3 out of 10 during, drop the load or reps by 10 to 20% that day. For plyos, add 10 to 20 contacts per session before you raise height or speed. Keep at least 48 to 72 hours between higher intensity plyos when you're first starting out. Here are some fast tweaks for real life situations. If both knees are symptomatic, do bilateral HSR, but keep single leg balance and landings for control. If you don't have machine access, swap knee extension with a long lever Spanish squat at a 303 tempo. If you have a game or practice day, do 1 to 2 45-second isometric holds in the warm-up and keep plyo volume super low. A strap or tape is fine as a short-term aid during activity, just don't count on this being your fix. Some milestones to know if you're winning. Single leg decline squat pain down to 3 out of 10 or less at your prior depth. Hop symmetry trending towards 90% side to side or better. Knee extension strength trending toward 90% symmetry on an 8 to 10 rep max or max isometric. Before we wrap up, here are some mistakes that keep patellar pain stuck and exactly how to fix each one. Number 1, full rest for weeks. You cannot just rest away tendinopathy. To fix this, keep isometrics and subsymptom strength and remove only the high energy storage loads. Number 2, spiky jump volume. A huge day, 2 days off, a huge day. To fix this, add plyo context gradually, 10 to 20 per session, add space 48 to 72 hours between harder days. Number 3, chasing numbness with ice or painkillers before training. To fix this, use the isometrics that we talked about before the session and save ice for a short-term relief after if you need it. Number 4, the wrong pain map. Pain around or behind the knee is not patellar tendinopathy. To fix this, rerun the 3 tests. Tendon pain is focal at the inferior pole and load dependent. Number 5, ignoring the ankle and the soleus. To fix this, add dorsiflexion mobilizations and soleus bias calf raises to shift load off the knee. Number 6, bouncy reps with no time under tension. To fix this, lift on a 3-0-3 tempo and log your actual load and your tempo, which leads us right into number 7, no tracking. To fix this, score your pain, log your morning sickness, single leg decline pain, HSR loads, and plyo contacts every week. Here is a simple dashboard that you can use for the next 8 to 12 weeks. Daily in the morning, rate your pain and stiffness 0 to 10. Twice weekly, rate single leg decline squat pain at your usual depth. Log your strength sessions with exercise, sets, reps, load, and tempo. Log plyo contacts per session and note your spacing. Remember, we're keeping 48 to 72 hours between harder days at first. Quarterly or when you're ready, check hop symmetry and knee extension strength. The target is 90% side to side or better. Use this traffic light rule. Green, pain 3 out of 10 or less during and not worse the next morning. Progress your loads or contacts. Yellow, 4 to 5 out of 10. Hold volume steady and reassess in 48 hours. Red, 6 out of 10 or higher or a morning spike. Regress your load or contacts by 10 to 20% or take 24 to 48 hours off. Return to play readiness looks like this. Single leg decline squat pain is a 3 out of 10 or less at your prior depth. Hop and knee extension strength at 90% symmetry or better, and you tolerate 2 to 3 energy storage sessions per week with stable next morning symptoms. So here's a quick recap. If your pain is right below the kneecap and worse with loading, you now have 3 tests to confirm it, 3 fixes, an isometric get out of pain protocol, heavy slow strength, and a smart plyo ladder. And a weekly plan with a 24-hour rule so you always know when to push or pull back. Tell me in the comments which tests you failed and what your pain score was from 0 to 10. I'll help you adjust your plan. And if you like this video or want to see more videos like this, hit subscribe to keep up to date with everything we're posting.